Heyo, Zion here. It's been a while. I never heard of a consistent schedule, apparently. Anyways, today I have even more Fakemon to show off. Today will be a little different though. I'm going to be introducing even more in one go, and even more so on the inspiration of the designs, something I feel I didn't quite touch upon it as much as my previous videos. Anyways, in this video, I'll be going over some of the first Pokemon one would encounter in the wild on their journey, the Route 1 Pokemon that would carry new trainers through the first bit of the game, in some sense. Most every official region in Pokemon has their regional dog, albeit some regions have more than others. Point still stands that dogs are pretty integral and popular in both our lives and the progression of a Pokemon game. Which brings me to Feucyon, whose name comes from feudal, pertaining to its definition, meaning old or outdated, and from Eukyon, an ancient genus of canids, or dogs, from around 10 million years ago. Its original design was fine, but as is the trend, I needed to update it to my newer style. After redesigning it, I felt it needed a bit of sprucing up, so I took another crack at it to make it even more adorable. Feucyon, the wild puppy Pokemon. Feucyon are very curious, roaming wherever it pleases to sate its curiosity, whether it endangers it or not. In ancient times, Feucyon were raised by people, forming a new evolution that would become a staple in home life, rather than its naturally feral evolution. Next is Doggern, the tame evolution of Feucyon. Its origins are much less cryptic, that being a domestic dog. Now, I know it's not all that impressive, but that's kind of the point. It's like your pet dog that you take on a walk or that barks at the mailman. Its original design was meant to represent Shibas or Huskies, but it still resembled a wolf with its pointy ears and spiky fur on its face. So I had it take on some traits that you see more in domestic dogs instead. A curled tail and cropped ears, as well as a much friendlier demeanor that felt more befitting of the family dog. Doggern, the domestic Pokemon. When people began raising Feucyon, it grew into the friendly Doggern, which would become a staple in family homes. Doggern are extremely protective of their masters and their families, warding off any threats with loud barks and chasing even the smallest bug out of their home. There's still one more question. What about those little pups that didn't get adopted into mankind's arms and stayed wild? Meet Luchaic, the wild evolution of Feucyon. It is in every sense feral. Its pointed ears, sharp fangs, and bristled fur give the sense that it's much wilder than its domesticated counterpart. And it is, being the more offensive of the two gameplay-wise. Luchaic was much bulkier in its first design, and admittedly the shading of it was confusing. It almost made it seem like a concave ball. So I aimed to up its ferocity, giving it tusks instead of fangs to make it seem wild rather than outright evil. Luchaic, the feral Pokemon. The natural evolution of Feucyon, Luchaic are vicious predators, hunting large prey in packs and ensuring the weakest members eat first so they all remain strong. Luchaic's teeth are sharp and durable, making for a bite that can crush bone and shatter wood. Next, we need a bug type, because there's only so much to battle against grass types this early. So up first we have Alurm. Now, don't run yet, Misty. We've only just started. Alurm is based on the hickory-horned devil, a massive caterpillar from eastern United States. These menacing yet harmless not-so-little guys are known for just how scary-looking they are. Of course, in the Pokemon world, it still had to be cute. So this little guy has the looks and personality of a little baby. Yo, what a cutie. Design-wise, Alurm has remained pretty much the same. Only until the making of this video did I keep using the same art from its first design. And even the redesign is in line with the original. I just shorten the body to give it some bulk and pull in its shape a bit more. Alurm, the grimmest Pokémon. Despite looking menacing, Alurm are relatively harmless, often going out of their way to help others, although they'll just as often scare them away. Spikes on its back are dense but not harmful, even feeling soft yet smooth to the touch. With enough pressure, Alurm evolves into the grumpy Pudread, based on, unsurprisingly, the cocoon of a hickory horn devil, albeit very fantasized. Pudread is by far one of my favorite middle stages I've made. Like, he's just a grumpy little guy. Although despite all the goodwill it desired in its previous evolution, its menacing appearance filled others and my will to him record with fear, causing it to harden and grow as distasteful as those around it. Like Alurm, Pudread's design has remained relatively the same. Other than a slight bulk up and tuning to my current style, not much had changed from its previous design. But of course, Pudread grows out of its shell, having one final chance to let go of this grudge. Right? Pudread, the grimmest Pokémon. Pudread are known to scare those it meets. This has caused it to grow a bitter attitude that many connect with it and its intimidating appearance. As it grows, the spikes and shell on its body become more dense, making it quite unpleasant to touch. Rage, a negative emotion that fuels destruction, spite, etc. And Diroth, the dire moth. Diroth itself is based off of the not-so-wrathful, yet still pretty big, regal moth, or royal walnut moth. What the hickory horn devil actually turns into after Chrysalis. Diroth is filled with fury built from the grudges it held as a Pudread. So, to reflect that, I made it a bug and dragon type. A type combo that somehow still hasn't appeared in any official Pokemon sources. Dragon, being the type most associated with anger by far, felt like the perfect pick that was a fun possibility to explore. Diroth's original design was very wide, so I tightened it a little, bringing the wings in closer and not being mirrored, while giving it a bit of a wilder side to its expression that really gives it that look of boiling anger. Diroth, the raging Pokémon. Filled with untamed rage, Diroth has become the menace others thought it to be, as it rampages with unerring anger. Capable of raising entire landscapes, this Pokémon proves to be a vicious challenge for even the most experienced trainers to handle and train. And that's about it for today. The first batch of Fakemon. Well, after the starters anyhow, for my Fakemon region. Be sure to let me know what you think of these Fakemon in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video where we dive back into a more blocky environment.